Hello again, it's me, Miso. The rain has passed and now the world glows again. There's sunlight spilling across the floor, soft, golden, slow-moving, like honey poured by time itself. I walk through it and the warmth kisses my fur, and for a moment I feel the whole world breathing in peace. Humans often wonder why cats love sunbeams so much. You see us stretch across the light, eyes half closed, and you think it's just comfort. But it's more than that. For us, sunbeams are memory. A memory of safety, of stillness, of being held by something larger and kind. When I lie in the sun, I'm not just warming my body, I'm remembering that light always returns, no matter how long the shadows stay. The first warmth of morning always feels like forgiveness. It touches the cold corners, the quiet places that waded through the night, and says, "You made it. Rest now." I think that's why we cats chase sunlight across the room. Not because we're lazy, but because we understand movement, the kind that doesn't rush, the kind that follows nature's rhythm. When you chase light, it runs. When you sit still, it finds you. That's the secret. That's why cats don't hunt the sun, we welcome it. You humans wake up and rush toward brightness. Alarms, screens, coffee, plans. You flood yourself with light, but forget to feel its warmth. You chase the idea of a bright day instead of sitting inside its glow. To us, the sun isn't a goal, it's a guest. It arrives, stays for a while, and leaves quietly when it's time. We treat it with reverence. Not because it's rare, but because it's constant. Even behind clouds, we know it's there. The warmth of sunlight is the oldest comfort in the world. Before sound, before words, before thought, there was warmth. It's the first language life ever learned. When I stretch into the sunlight, I feel that language speaking through me. It says, "You don't need to do anything to deserve warmth. You just have to be open to it." Humans forget that. You earn your comfort, schedule your rest, ration your joy like something fragile. But warmth isn't something you have to deserve. It's something you're born needing. When I see a sunbeam slide across the floor, I follow it slowly, not to chase it, but to keep company with its journey. I move from one pool of light to another, like traveling through small sanctuaries. Each one has its own softness, its own quiet hum, and when I find the perfect spot, the one where the light wraps around me like a blanket, I curl up and breathe. I don't dream of elsewhere. I don't wonder how long it'll last. I just let the world hold me for a while. You call that laziness, but it's devotion to the art of being. When the sun touches my fur, it's not just heat, it's memory of safety, of home, of the deep instinct that says, you are okay. Even on your hardest days, the sun still rises. It never asks how you feel. It just arrives, patient and unchanged, ready to begin again. That's why I love it, because it loves without condition. When you feel lost, find the light. Not the kind that blinds, but the kind that warms. It's usually closer than you think. A window, a candle, a morning sky opening its eyes. You don't have to chase hope. You just have to sit where it can find you. Sometimes when I nap in a sunbeam, I can feel the dust in the air glowing. Each particle dances like a tiny universe, floating in light that no one notices. That's what presence feels like, to see the ordinary shimmer. If you could stop running for a moment, you'd see it too. The world is always shimmering. It's just that your eyes move too fast to notice. Humans spend so much time looking for purpose, but you forget to feel the warmth that's already touching you. Maybe that's why you're tired. You're chasing light instead of letting it hold you. To love sunlight the way cats do is to let yourself be illuminated, not from outside, but from within. The sun doesn't make us glow. It reminds us that we already do. That's the quiet truth of warmth. It doesn't give you something new. It brings you back to what's always been there. You're made of light, borrowed from stars, softened by time, hidden under the weight of your own thoughts. So the next time the sun touches you, don't move away. Stop. Close your eyes. Let it speak to you in the only language that matters, warmth. You'll feel it then, the slow rhythm of being alive, the calm pulse of the earth turning beneath you. It's all saying the same thing. You don't have to chase the light. You are the light.
There's a special kind of quiet that happens in the afternoon, when the light softens, when even the air seems to sigh. That's the time I love the most. The world feels slow, and every sound seems to echo through sunlight. Humans call it laziness, but to me, it's memory. The body remembers what safety feels like, what peace sounds like. When I lie in the warmth, I feel every cell whisper, "You're home." Warmth is not just heat, it's recognition. It's the moment when something inside you matches something outside you, like the sun and the skin agreeing that life is good. When I curl in a sunbeam, I'm not asleep right away. First, I listen to the hum of light through glass, to the small creaks of the house settling, to the gentle rhythm of time passing quietly. There's a kind of music there, the kind only stillness can play. Humans forget how to hear it. You think music needs instruments, that joy needs motion, but warmth sings differently. It hums, it glows, it tells stories that don't use words. Every beam of sunlight carries history. It's been traveling for millions of years just to land here, on your face, on my fur, on this single piece of floor. Isn't that beautiful? That the light we feel now was born long before we existed? It reminds me that everything is connected through time, that even moments of comfort are made of ancient stars. When you feel that, you realize warmth isn't something new. It's a returning. The light you feel is the same one that once grew forests, that guided oceans, that touched the faces of those who came before you. It's not just sunlight, it's memory, a living thread between what was and what is. That's why cats trust it so deeply, because warmth never lies. It doesn't ask for anything, it doesn't pretend, it simply gives. When I stretch out in it, I can feel my heartbeat slow. My breath finds rhythm, and something inside me softens, the part that's been alert, the part that's been waiting. I realize I don't have to wait anymore. The world has already arrived. Maybe that's what stillness really means. Not the absence of motion, but the end of waiting. Stillness is what happens when you finally stop preparing to live and start living. Humans are always preparing for the next goal, the next conversation, the next version of happiness. But cats, we live in the unplanned. We follow warmth the way rivers follow gravity. We don't wonder why it's here. We just become part of it. When the sun hits my fur, I know everything is okay, even if only for now. And that's enough. Maybe that's the hardest lesson for humans, that enough is not a small word. It's the softest form of peace. To be enough, to have enough, to rest enough. It's all the same warmth, wearing different names. The sun teaches that every day. It doesn't apologize for shining. It doesn't question whether it's bright enough. It just radiates. It just is. You can learn from that. You don't have to burn to be worthy. You don't have to glow for others to see you. You just have to be. And in being, you'll find that the world starts to glow back. Sometimes when I look at the shadows, I notice how they move as gently as light does. They're not opposites, they're companions. Where light walks, shadow follows. Even the darkness participates in warmth. It outlines it, defines it, completes it. That's what balance means. To let the light and shadow coexist, without one needing to defeat the other. When the afternoon turns to evening, I watch the light fade across the walls. It leaves slowly, not abruptly, as if it knows goodbyes should never be loud. There's beauty in that too, in the patience of departure. Humans often rush endings. You hurry through them to avoid pain. But the sun never rushes. It sets like a sigh. It lets the day close softly, trusting that it will rise again. That's what faith feels like. Not certainty, but rhythm. When the last beam disappears, I don't move right away. I stay there, feeling the echo of warmth that lingers in the air. It's faint, but it's enough. Because warmth, once given, never truly leaves. It stays in memory, in skin, in the quiet spaces of the heart. Humans try to hold moments, but warmth teaches you something else. That letting go doesn't mean losing. It means trusting what remains. Every time you remember peace, you call that warmth back. That's the real gift of sunlight. It teaches you how to keep warmth without clinging, how to remember without regret, how to be soft without being fragile. So when you feel the sun again, whether it's on your face, your hands, or just in the thought of a quiet morning, let it remind you. You don't have to chase joy. You just have to stop hiding from it. Warmth will always find its way back. The sun doesn't knock. It simply shines. And those who are ready open the window. You don't need to reach for peace. Just open. And it will pour in, slow and golden, the way light always does. The warmth will hold you the way it holds me, without asking, without reason, without end. And when night comes, don't grieve the light. Remember that every beam of sun still lives in the things it touched. It's in the trees, in the oceans, in your skin, in me. You don't lose light. You carry it forward. So rest now. Let the world glow through you. Be the sunlight someone else might need tomorrow. Because warmth isn't what you find. It's what you share. And if you forget, just look for a cat asleep in a sunbeam.